Hey everybody, I'm Jim Johnson here to talk about my NASCAR collecting journey. I was debating if I wanted to do a video like this, but I ultimately decided upon, yes, I do want to do this, because it's been a long time coming. So let's starting with 2013. Okay, so 2013, a year after I was born, we have these four bad guys: Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Casey Kane. Now, these were all the Hendrick drivers at the time, because my dad was a Hendrick fan. He loved Dale Earnhardt Jr., but I was a Jimmy Johnson fan, so we always kind of butted heads about who was better, but in reality, he knew that Jimmy was ultimately better. Anyways, all these four were produced by Spin Masters in 2013. Of course, I used them when I was a little kid, so that's why they have so many damn scratches. And why I wish I was never a little kid, because I could make so much money if they were still looked, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Nice looking and still in the box. So, yeah. So I kind of wish that I didn't play with them as harsh as I did when I was little? Yeah. Do they still do I still wish that they would look better? Yes. Do I know that they deserve to be on my shelf for being so inspirational for me, and with them being my OG diecasts? Yes. That's the only reason they're on my shelf. That's the only reason. Ever. Well, enough banter about these. It's time to move on to 2015 to 2016. For 2014, 2015, there's a lot to talk about. So I'm going to try to wrap up this section quick. Cobalt Black, Jimmy Johnson, 2016. Now, obviously, with it being 2016, I was ecstatic to hear that Jimmy won the championship. I mean, of course I would. I'm a Jimmy Johnson fan. Look at the name of my channel. But there's really a lot to talk about. Around this time, I was starting to learn more about NASCAR. So, yeah. Next up, Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. was always one of my favorites. I mean, he grew up in Jersey. I live in Jersey, so yeah. Very cool diecast when he was with Furniture Row Racing. Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick. I got this one at a small dirt track that I don't live really near, but I live in the. It's still a short-ish ride there. I got it at New Egypt Speedway in New Jersey. So, yeah, he is special. Oh shit, he almost fell off the table. Next up, Kyle Larson. Always a favorite of mine. I mean, did I really know what he did in 2020? No. So yeah. This is Rookie of the Year, Kyle Larson, actually. If I had the box, this one might actually be worth a little bit. But I don't, so, yeah. It has tons of paint scratches from me being a dumbass kid. More Dale. This is the 2015 playoffs Dale. That's why it has the yellow where his name would be. So, yeah. I actually didn't know why it was yellow. I just thought it was meant there to look cool when I was little. But now I know. Very nice. Now, a cheap little Bill Elliott. Now, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a bootleg or official at all. I mean, looks real, but don't feel real at all. So, I mean, I'm kind of on a split decision for this one. But very nice to have an old driver. Now, Chase Elliott Nationwide Series Championship. You know, I wish they kind of stuck with this kind of design car. Hold on. Yeah, look at the spoiler. That's so cool. Also, hold on. Look at the splitter. That's cool too. They should have stayed with this. I like the design, but I don't know how it raced. I gotta look more into that. Oh boy. And here's more about my dad forcing Dale upon me. More Dale. I'm pretty sure this is 2014 National Guard Dale. Well, obviously it's National Guard Dale, but maybe 2015. Very cool. And then, again, I mentioned this that this is where I started to learn more about NASCAR. Here's the man in black, Dale Earnhardt. Yep, here he is. So, it's time to move on to the next section. Raise Hail, praise Dale. And now, 2017-2018. We only have one car for this section because this is the 1 year where I stopped watching NASCAR for a while, actually, because Jimmy Johnson, I lost kind of hope for him, to be honest. Should I have done that? No, but I was a little kid. So just one lone Brad Keselowski car. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more about, oh yeah, wait, get back here. I got this one at 2017 Talladega. One race I went to. It was very cool. My only gripe, I wasn't able to see the backstretch because I was 5 years old. 5 years old. So I was barely able to see the backstretch. And when I looked up the results when I got home, oh, I wasn't happy. Jimmy Johnson wrecked out on the backstretch. So did Dale Earnhardt Jr., but so me and my dad both lost on that one. But we were both pretty sad in the end. And that's really when I stopped watching NASCAR for a while. I watched a few more races, and the Roval. The Roval is when I really lost hope for Jimmy. The 2018 Charlotte Roval, locked the brakes up. That was the day I quit. And then for I watched a few select races like Crown Jewels and other races, but never really got back to watching it full-time, NASCAR. And yeah, it's just the way it went. So yeah, I got into stuff like retro gaming and a bunch of other hobbies. But now, let's go on to the stuff I know you guys want to see. And now for 2025. There's a shit ton to talk about, so let's get right into it. So after I watched the All-Star Race and the All-Star Open, I got Christopher Bell, NASCAR Authentics. By the way, these are all NASCAR Authentics, the ones I'm going to show. And Carson Hocevar. When I first got back into watching NASCAR, I saw this guy and Shane Van Gisbergen. I wondered who the hell they were, and now I root for them almost every weekend. But obviously, I never forgot about Hendrick. Mainly, I'm a Chase fan now. And speaking of Chase, here he is. The UniFirst Bank, Chase Elliott. Now, when I was little, though, my dad basically programmed me to hate 3 NASCAR drivers. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin. While I still hate Logano and Hamlin, I think I've softened up for Busch. I mean, come on. Almost every win he's got, he deserves. Yes, I specify as almost. He does not deserve every single win. 2018 Chicagoland. Next, Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric. He's very cool. When I first saw this guy in the 2, I was like, whoa, what happened to Brad Keselowski? He's supposed to be in the 2. Then I found him in the 6 and found out that he's been having a terrible season. Poor guy. And also, here's an Xfinity driver, Sammy Smith. I root for this guy every week. Obviously, I'm excited for Zilich to come to Cup, and I want an Xfinity Zilich. I wonder who's going to drive the 88 next year. Anyways, here's the 71 of Zane Smith. Yeah, my Walmart had a lot of 2024s, but there's a few 2025s in here. So yeah, very cool. Here's Daniel Suarez in the 99, who is going to be replaced by Connor Zilich next year. Very excited. I've been watching Xfinity. It seems like he's going to do very good. Especially in Trackhouse equipment. Yeah, you better watch out for that guy. Now, a 2025 one. Ryan Blaney. Out of all of my my 2024/2025 diecasts, I think this one has the best paint scheme. Just because, look how... it's probably not very good to see on my camera. I suck. I have no lighting. Wait, we do need some light. Maybe this will help. Maybe a little bit. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that body armor bottle on the hood. Truly spectacular. And finally, Chris Buescher. So, yeah. Now it's on to the miscellaneous stuff. Some stuff that's not mine. Some stuff that is not next-gen cars. Some stuff that is next-gen cars, but they're little special editions. Let's get into that really quickly. And here we are with the second to last section of this video. Let's get into it. This is my dad's 2005 Dale Earnhardt Jr. Car. Very, very cool. So yeah, I mean, the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated paint scheme. Very, very nice. Wow, we're running out of space on this table. Another one. Now here's a Tim Richmond. Looking back on it, should have kept this in the box, but I bought it a few months ago, so what are you gonna do? Box is way gone. And now, when I heard Jimmy Johnson races part-time, I was ecstatic. Because I didn't know that. I was away from NASCAR for almost, 6 years? But here's an ally, Jimmy Johnson. I'm pretty sure this is the all-star race scheme he ran. So yeah, now whenever it's a race that Jimmy runs in, I always root for him. He got third at Daytona. I'm telling you, maybe he should come back for one more full season. Just one more. And here's a winner's circle, Brad Keselowski. Yes, the card is detachable, and it shows the stats. Yeah. Very, very cool. There's a few more special ones, and I'm going to talk about those just in a second. Alright, it's time for the big boys, the collection. 2005 Detroit All-Star Game, Dale Earnhardt Jr. My dad said he lost the box a long time ago. So that's unfortunate. But we weren't going to resell it anyways. So, yeah. I like this. Here's the back. Hold on, let me try to get the hood open. Come on, hood. Open. There we go. I got it. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, pretty fucking cool. I like it. So, yeah, I'm actually going to put this one on my bed. 'Cause we don't have a lot of space left to the right of the screen. Regular Big Dale. I don't know if the hood opens on this one. Maybe. Hold on, let me see. I know the back does, and it looks the exact same thing. Okay, I don't know if it opens. I don't think so. Maybe it does. But it's acting up today then, if it does. So I don't want to force it. And A Car of Tomorrow. I don't get why people hate the look of the Car of Tomorrow. I like the way it looks. Definitely not the way it races, though. Yeah, pretty cool. Here's the Sprint Cup logo. The Coors Light Pole Award. National Guard 88. Yeah. So this is a 124 scale. So this car compared to this car, pretty big difference. Now it's time for our 2 inbox cars. I'm trying to get the Petty 75 in all box. So here's Mark Petty. If you don't know who that is, good. I looked it up. He only ran select races, and his best finish was 34th. Goodbye. I don't know why we kept you on the box. And now, since he's going away from Trackhouse, here's an inbox Daniel Suarez that's going to stay in here forever. The Freeway Insurance scheme, 2024, Wave 4. And that's it. Oh yeah, here's all the cars that were released in that wave. And that's it. That is it. That is my entire NASCAR diecast collection. It's growing. It's growing again, I should say. Yeah. To be honest, what got me back into the sport? I don't know. I was just bored one Mother's Day, and I watched the race at Atlanta. Or, what was the race on Mother's Day this year? I don't remember. I think it was Atlanta. Some kind of intermediate. I'll have to look it up again, but whatever. It's been a long time coming. What really got me into racing was the Mario Kart series of games, specifically Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I always watched gameplay of Mario Kart Wii when I was little, so that might have also been a thing that got me into racing. Also, my family's into racing. My aunt, my dad, as I said, my uncle, grandma. So yeah, I come from a bit of a racing family. A family that likes racing, I should say. But yeah, that was the entire collection. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.